Good morning, poker winners. This is Frank Reese from KeepCalmRebuy.com. Here with buy-ins 8 through 10 of Level 2 of the 1,000 Hand Challenge. If none of that means anything to you, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can learn all about the 1,000 Hand Challenge by reading the book Poker Beginner to Poker Winner in 1,000 Hands. Available on Amazon or on my website, KeepCalmRebuy.com. Links in the description. Table selection is our first adjustment for any session. We start by opening multiple tables, then we look at stack sizes. On the bottom right, we see 4 short stacks and 2 stacks with more than the maximum buy-in. On the top right, we see only 2 short stacks and 3 players with more than 140 big blinds. Our default is to infer that the bottom table has more fish and fewer good players. We jump off the unfavorable upper right table and the empty upper left table. At that point, the lower left table opens, but it is the same unfavorable table as was on the upper right. Those were the most important few minutes of this or any other session. Poker is profitable when you play against bad players. Against players of roughly equal skill level, it's just another gambling game. First hand is King 5 suited, not a default playable hand. I decide to call this raise as an adjustment. When adjusting, I like to make a fishy move early on. If anyone is watching and remembering me play, they will likely remember what they saw first. This is what educational psychology calls the primacy effect. Also, I got more than 4-to-1 pot odds with a hand that has potential as top pair or a second nut flush draw. I flop neither, so I fold to the c-bet, proving that my dog was right to object to me making that call. Hand number 10 is playable. Pocket 9's on the button. Pocket 9's are not playable against a single raise. Pocket 10's are the bottom of that default range. But since I'm on the button, I decide to adjust by calling for 4 big blinds. I expect at least the limper in seat 6 to come along, giving multiple sources of implied odds. We flop second pair on a board with a flush draw. Also, any ace has a runner-runner wheel draw. The pre-flop raiser checks, so we take advantage of position and try to steal it. At this point, I'm hoping for a cheap showdown. With decent showdown value, I should not bluff, and there are too many hands that are beating me for a value bet. Seat 6 came along with his third nut flush draw and got lucky spiking his queen. That's poker. Hand number 16 is also pocket 9's. As the default, we raise all pocket pairs on the blinds, with limpers and folders ahead of us. But we are also below 20 big blind, so our default is to get as much in the pot pre-flop as possible with all pairs. We see a limp, then a raise, then a call. We shove all in, hoping to be called for our small stack by a weaker pair, or for a middle pair versus overcards coin flip. If only one player calls, the dead money would make the coin flip profitable. Instead, all three call, but we don't mind that when we see the flop. Safe to say this flop is favorable. If we had anything behind, we would hope two of the villains had a king. This is my favorite part of my own strategy, getting really short stacked and having multiple callers. Back when you could buy in for 20 big blinds, short stacking must have been a license to print money. Since we are over 50 big blinds, we jump off the table and reopen quickly, hoping to get back on the same one. Bovada was a little laggy, but we got back to the same table, same seat. This buy-in, we try to look fishy by posting. Queen 9 is a fine hand to see the flop for free, especially if opponents have us pegged as a posting fish. Sure enough, we flop second pair, face kicker, and a gut shot. I had a subscriber request that I edit some of the tanking. Since I only have about 4 subscribers, I decided to go along with that. No longer having second pair, and with less equity than only one card to come, I could use position to see the turn for free. But I decided to double barrel instead. I consider a triple barrel, since no draws came in other than Queen Jack or 6-7, which would have been more aggressive on the flop. But I decided to see a showdown with my 9s. So Villain 6 called my turn bet with a 1-card open-ender, an ace, and a made straight on the board. That's why we look for short stack fish to play against. Hand number 3, we get ace-queen, playable in all positions against limpers. We make the standard raise of 4 big blinds, plus 1 big blind for the limper. We flop overcards against multiple players, so our default is to check fold. But since we selected a soft table, we are allowed to see the turn for free. Villain represents that he spiked the queen or has hearts. We don't care if he has a queen, and we choose not to believe the hearts. So we call, hoping he's bluffing with air, or has an underpair, or a jack. That jack's not good news. We prepare to fold to a significant bet. But for less than 1/5 pot, we'll just have to pay him off if he's that good at sizing his value bets. His queen is good, and we are now over 50 big blinds. Same table, same seat again. Sweet. We don't want to post in such early position. Any watchful villain probably knows it's me again anyway. You should know that if you plan to play short stacked, as I recommend, that we short stackers are often despised for our hit and run playing style. It's a price we pay for our success. First hand we get ace-6 hearts, default playable with an isolation raise. But we adjust by checking it through. giving little information about our hand. That flop has nothing for us, so we check with a plan to fold. I could bluff that made flush, but the small blind beats me to it. Hand number 3, we get ace-jack spades. We make the default range 4 times plus 1 for the limper. We flop overcards, which we would default bluff against one opponent. But we face aggression with only ace high, so we let it go. We go card dead for about 15 minutes, and then pick up ace-jack once again. We make the default raise. Well, that's a thinker. I could put player 4 on a bluff. Maybe he had some hand he wanted to limp or open with and tilted. But that quick call by player 8 looks like he has a hand. That shove saved me 18 big blinds. I complete with Jack 10 offsuit. We flop top pair, face kicker. We push in our 16 big blinds, hoping somebody has a draw. Nope. Hand 26, we get a pocket pair with less than 20 big blinds. So we try to guess how large a raise we could get called with. All in is probably too ambitious. Oh well, better to win small than lose at all. Almost a full orbit later, I limp in with 10-9 offsuit on the cutoff. Not the best play. I'm probably tired of being card dead. I catch top pair, meh kicker. It's a limp pot, so no one has initiative. Hijack bets out. Yes, this is card dead tilt. It's also last buy-in of level 2, let's get this over with tilt. It works out though. It pays to honestly self-check for tilt. Jack 10 of diamonds under the gun looks like a hand that will lose a tilty player's money, so I'll fold it. And that's the last hand for level 2. Let's record the session on the Keep Calm Rebuy spreadsheet. As you can see, we had a successful 10 buy-in run. We made money during 7 out of 10 buy-ins. We made a profit of $14.88. Let's compare the results to our previous 10 buy-in set. On the left is the Keep Calm Rebuy win rate tracker from the 10NL default set. Using the default strategy, we played for 7.1 hours for a total of 318 hands. By adjusting, we finished our 10 buy-ins in 3.5 hours playing 143 hands. We made $7.49 playing 10 buy-ins with the default strategy, compared to the $14.88 we made by adjusting. By adjusting, we increased our dollars per hour from $1.05 per hour to $4.22 per hour. But let's keep in mind, this is a small sample size. Our big blinds per 100 for the default strategy was 23.6. Our big blinds per 100 for the adjusted strategy was 104.1. I don't believe that would be sustainable, even by the best player against officious tables. We had a very good run for our level 2 set of buy-ins. The next level, level 3, didn't go so well. At 25NL, using the default strategy, I had a mini downswing. In the next video, I will show you that downswing, as well as how to tell bad play from a bad run. You can learn about short stacking and the plan to go from beginner to winner in my book, available on Amazon. Please like and subscribe.